So Skyrim is a old game. That's no secret. The game came out originally on November 11th of 2011, and the follow-up, which was Special Edition, came out on October 28th of 2016. Now, despite many changes that the Special Edition made, there is one thing that's always stayed the same, and that is Skyrim's combat. Compared to other games such as Dark Souls, Sekiro, or other action RPGs, Skyrim's combat definitely feels slow. It feels not necessarily methodical, just clunky, and it doesn't really fit well, especially if you're trying to play the game nowadays, where other games have done a lot better with camera movement and things like that. That's why in this Skyrim mods video, we're going to be focusing only on one mod today, but like Project Protheus, it is one of those mods where it is going to drastically change your Skyrim experience. I urge you to check this out if you're looking for something that's a little bit more modern, but you still love the atmosphere of Skyrim. The mod that I'm talking about is called True Directional Movement, Modernized Third-Person Gameplay. This does a list of changes to the gameplay of Skyrim to match it up with more action RPGs that we've seen in more recent years. The two biggest examples is Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro. The first big change that this mod does is to directional movement. Unlike vanilla Skyrim, where if you try to move backwards, your character will do a backstep and you have to fully turn the camera in order to run, now you can just simply hold back, whether that's on a controller or the S key, and your character will run backwards. This means that the camera is going to stay in front of you and that you'll have full camera control whenever you move in your character. And so while this may not seem new to some people, the biggest difference between this mod and other mods that try to fake 360 movement, it's not based on animations. This is all based on where your character is actually positioned in the world, so that means everything else will work correctly. And I really like this because it's super simple. You don't need different animations. You don't need to know how animations work within modding. You just need to download this, and when you launch the game, it just works. Again, Todd Howard, don't sue me. But it's one of the biggest things that I like about this mod, and it's one of the more simple things that I see myself using. Even if I don't like some of the other features in the mod, which, spoiler alert, I do, I think directional movement is one of those big things to where it just feels better when I play Skyrim in third person. The next portion of this mod is the target lock. Now what this does is pretty self-explanatory. It allows you to lock onto an enemy, and you can scroll between the enemy either via the mouse wheel, or you can set your own custom keys within the mod configuration menu. This makes third-person combat so much easier, so you can choose and pick which enemy that you want to fight, whether it's a bigger threat or you want to focus on the boss, which we'll get into a little bit later. I like the target lock feature, and it feels like this is something that's really needed when you're trying to go for more action-oriented Skyrim. I understand that some RPG enthusiasts like the free control, and you can definitely not use the target lock. It's an optional feature. However, I think to fully grasp the true directional movement that the mod provides, target lock is one of those things. You can also sprint away from enemy. You can do dodge rolls with the target lock, which focuses on that character that you're locking onto with the dodge roll. It's a really nice, robust feature, and it's really simple to use. You can also increase or decrease the range of the target lock, so if you're fighting dragons or if you're fighting a lot of bandits and things like that, you don't have to stay so far away from the enemy to order the target lock, or if you're fighting a dragon, you can increase the target lock range, so that way you'll have a little bit easier time using your ranged spells and abilities, which is something else we'll get into a little bit further on down the road. It should also be noted that the target lock on does work in first person mode. However, there are a few exceptions which I'll get into a little bit later in the video, but for the most part, all of the features that work in third person will also work in first person. In combination with the target lock, there's also the widget that shows up whenever you lock onto a target. Now this has many different values. Some of the more noticeable ones are the name of the enemy, the current health that they have, and of course the amount of damage that they've taken from either a recent spell, a weapon strike, etc. A lot of these features can be customized through the mod configuration menu, such as the values that show up, what doesn't show up, so definitely play around with it and find something that suits your needs. Another big change that this mod brings is the projectile aim support. Now what this aims to do is pick between two different features that will allow you to track your enemies with your projectiles, such as arrows or spells. The first option is the predictive aim, which will predict your enemy's movement based on where they're moving and try and shoot the projectile towards that direction. For example, if the enemy is moving left, the projectile will curve to the left in order to try and predict where the enemy is going to be positioned, so the projectile will hit properly. If the enemy moves right, then the same thing, the projectile will curve to the right in order to try and predict where the enemy is moving so that the projectile will hit properly. The second option is the home in option, and this will automatically hit the target with your projectile spell regardless of what position they're in. If you don't like either feature, you can definitely turn off both. However, if you choose to use the free aim feature, just be aware if you use the target lock on in first person and you try to use an arrow or projectile spell, it will automatically try and aim assist you to that target as you are still locked in. So please take note of that. If you would like my recommendation, I recommend using the predictive aim. I think that is the more fair and balanced option out of the two. However, I do understand the homing is very, very appealing for magic users, as it will always guarantee that your fireballs or your icicles or other magic spells that you hit. Now this is compatible with modded spells as well, so you don't have to worry about that. Now along with the target lock and the widget, you also have the boss health bars. Boss health bars work in tangent just like the target lock and the widget. It shows the enemy boss's name, it shows their total health, it shows their level and other values, and this can be edited separately within the mod configuration menu. I like the boss health bars. I think they fit with the rest of the theme of it, and I'm used to games such as Sekiro, Dark Souls, Ninja Gaiden, etc., other action RPGs that show the boss health bar. However, if you do not like the boss health bars, you can remove it via the mod configuration menu, as it is separate from both the widget and the target lock on. Another thing that the mod changes is the way that mounts work for third person. Instead of mounting a horse and automatically being snapped behind the back, the camera rotation will not change, and now you'll have full camera control of the horse mount. This is actually really useful for exploring, and I'm used to this with games like The Witcher, where horse combat and horse mounting is pretty fluid for the most part. In Skyrim, it feels a bit clunky, especially with the camera controls. However, this mod definitely changes that. Now, it is recommended to grab a mod that tweaks the horse rotation. Me personally, I didn't have a problem with the rotation of the horse, but if you do have a recommendation for that mod, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to add it as a sticky note within the comment section and in the description. And because it is part of the mod, it does make changes to swimming as well. It's a small feature that allows you to use the jump and the sneak buttons in order to go up and down within the water. As mentioned before, a small change, but it is here within the mod, so I figured I'd mention it. I find some use in it. However, the vanilla Skyrim swimming mechanics aren't that bad, and there's not really too many options in which you will be swimming unless you use some modded quest, so take that as you will. As mentioned before, I think this is one of those mods that will drastically change the way that you play Skyrim, and to complement the mods, I'm going to showcase a couple of other mods that may be useful. However, we're not going to go into a full video like I would with this mod. The first one is the Smooth Cam. Now, this is a very popular third-person camera change to which it will act along the lines of Dark Souls or Sekiro or other third-person games. Now, this lets you tweak certain things as the rotation, the positioning, or you can use presets that are also within the Nexus. My two recommendations is the Souls-like and the third-person preset. I will link both those down below. And this is simply just to change the angle of the camera and how it works within third person. Another mod that I recommend is the third-person camera stagger remover. Now, this is just a personal preference. Some people may like the stagger effect within third person. However, I find it super annoying that every time I get hit with a power attack, or if I'm blocking, or if my block gets broken, the camera will start to shake. It's very annoying, and it really just takes me out of the experience, so I recommend this mod. It's a simple mod that you just download and install, and what it does is just removes the shake of the third-person camera. Now, you will still get the stagger effects. It does not remove the actual effect of the stagger, just the camera effects that it provides whenever you do get staggered. First person still works, and I think it makes sense a little bit more in first person if you do combat, but in third person, it's just super annoying and just really takes me out of the experience. And to top off the end of the video, there is one other mod that I like to quickly showcase, and I'll probably do a separate video for this later on, and this is the Elder Souls The Collection Animation Set. What this animation set does is gives you over 120 animations that completely overhaul Skyrim's third-person combat to allow you to have a little bit more of an action-oriented gameplay. Think of it as exactly like it sounds, Dark Souls. This will cut animation from those games and add them to Skyrim, and I think it really blends together well with the true directional movement, especially with the lock-on feature. Please be sure to read the directions carefully on how to install the mod, any changes that you need to make to the Skyrim.ini files. This will make more sense and will make it a little bit more stable, as these animations do tweak the speed a little bit, and you'll need to alter the speed so they work correctly. That being said, I think these mods that I've showcased today will greatly change your Skyrim experience, especially if you love to play in third person. This will sort of update the game to a more modern setting to where you'll have some of the same features that you would from more popular third person action RPGs. If you only download one mod from this video, please check out the True Directional Movement modernized third-person gameplay. I think that mod in itself will just change your Skyrim third-person combat completely, even without the additional animations. However, I do recommend some sort of animations, and the animations that I've showed today is just one example of many that are available within the Nexus. I want to say thank you guys for watching the video if you made it towards the end, and if you enjoyed the showcase, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon, and the like button, as well as leave a comment down below. All the interaction in this video definitely does help with the YouTube algorithm, and I want to say thank you guys for your support in my other videos, such as the Cyberpunk videos. Like I said before, I know Cyberpunk isn't very popular among some people, but I do enjoy the game, and when there are exceptional mods or mods that I think will help improve the game, I will definitely make videos on that as well, along with Skyrim, as I am getting back into it with my modded playthrough series, as well as some of the Skyrim quickies and the Skyrim videos that I'm doing, such as this one. If you want to further support the channel, you can check out the links in the description down below. I do have a merch shop, as well as my Twitch channel, my other socials, and you can become a member of the channel for as little as 99 cents. The channel membership will allow you to use special emotes within videos or whenever I do stream on YouTube, as well as directly support the channel without having to worry about YouTube's ad revenue. You can also check out the Patreon, where I do more of my anime stuff, which you've seen pop up on the channel from time to time. These will allow you to watch my full reactions to anime, trailers, and other things without having to worry about YouTube taking it down, and you'll get to see the full uncut reaction of those episodes. So definitely check that out if that's something that interests you. I'm also thinking of a way to incorporate more Skyrim based stuff within Patreon, so if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, the link will be in the description for all of the mods that I've showcased in this video, and if you do download the mods and you do enjoy them, please endorse the mod authors and let them know that you enjoyed the mod. I know that they would greatly appreciate that as well. Take care everyone, and I will see you in the next video.